the amalgamation of the village of Barry's Bay and the townships of Radcliffe and Sherwood, Jones, and Burns that form the beautiful township of Madawaska Valley. The history of this great community goes as far back as the 1800s. It saw a railway development line pass through Madawaska-Malisay First Nations territory. The massive forests and the Madawaska River were crucial for logging, shaping the economy and culture. After all that time, the community spirit has never wavered, and the entire township has gotten behind their local hockey club with such incredible force. It's forced this hockey organization to drape their loved jerseys over players who are not only excellent hockey players, but passionate, dedicated athletes who will do what it takes to get the job done, game in and game out, and give their beloved fans the experience they can be proud of and make them want to come back every weekend to show their dedication and support to the team they so love. Some franchises are very difficult to support. Some fans don't feel like the effort and love for the team and town is there. That is definitely never a problem here in the Wolves' Den. It's a family atmosphere, and the fans feel like they are a part of the win, and even more importantly, show support during a loss. With a team like this, and with a fan base backing them to the extent Madawaska Valley does, they never really lose when the final horn sounds. Two teams who are newer clubs to the NPHL, but have already cemented themselves in this league as teams who will always compete for a championship and will not be okay with the mediocrity that will always look for an excellence in execution. If you're not around these teams enough, all the points that you need to look for are on the record books. Barry's Bay has one of the most amazing stories on home ice. Last season's travel affected their road record, with the Wolves ending the season 1-9 away from Paul Yacobussi Community Center. At home, 13-1-0, including the playoffs, and pulled off some epic comeback wins. Not only is this beautiful arena and the massive maple leaf along the wall and the close, cozy feel of the arena, but the beauty starts at the front door. A family-type atmosphere is an immediate feel when you walk through the front gates. Friendly, happy faces selling tickets, merchandise, and or just greeting every fan as they enter the arena. That attitude leaks into the passion that you see from the crowd when the first puck drops. The fans arrive early and come loud, and with that atmosphere transcends into victories on home ice. That crowd gives the Wolves the extra energy they need to get to those loose pucks, to win the battles in the corner, and to find it within themselves to come up with big wins even when they don't have their A game. It's a very special experience every time NPHL Central comes to the front doors of this arena. You can feel it 2 hours before pregame, and it doesn't stop until the last fan leaves the arena 5 hours later. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful arena surrounded by a beautiful landscape. Madawaska Valley, an easy team to cheer for which makes them a hard team to beat. The passion run deep. Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Billy Bull alongside my trusted colleague and son James Bull, who'll be doing all the technical aspects you'll see this evening. And I will be doing your play-by-play for this epic battle between two divisional rivals. Madawaska Valley and Manotick getting joined up in the Pioneer Division this season, and it has been nothing but electric. For one side, the Manotick Mariners 12-0 on the season. Both goaltending sparkling 8-0 and 4-0 records. And we'll see Riley Tondreau in net to bring on his 4-0 record. 325 goals against, an 895 save percentage against Sean Green, who's sitting at 2-1-0 on the season with a 302 goals against and a 904 save percentage. And both clubs have brought their A game. There are some guys like Mr. Andrew McDonald, who's right up there in the league penalty minutes leaders, who was protecting Devin Campbell in the game against Akwesasne Wild. Broke his right hand in a battle that will see him miss a significant period of time. Other notable mentions: Curtis LeClaire, Nolan Rook, Jared Stay, Quentin Rook, and Zach Lukasavage, and newly acquired Tyson Thomasinen, with Jacob Stay as well out of the lineup tonight for Barry's Bay. I don't have the outs for Manotick, but they look like they've brought some gifted athletes out there. There's Caleb Sigsworth, number 16 for Manotick, a guy that I've called quite a few games for. He'll look to put on a great show tonight for the Mariners. And both of these clubs, again, with a unbeaten Manotick Mariners, they will go up against a Barry's Bay Hockey Club who on home ice look like an unbeatable force. They are 24 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie at the Paul Yakabuski Community Center since joining the NPHL 3 seasons ago. And last season's numbers, like I say in the opening, 13-1. I mean, they feed off the energy in this crowd. They feed off just the atmosphere here, and they love playing in front of their home crowd. And this has been a highly anticipated game for myself. I knew we were doing this game quite a long time ago, and the way Manotick got off to that great start, beating North Dundas, and then just kept rolling along. Had a little bit of a scare last weekend, though, as they played the Pogan Falls Rapids. This matchup of the unbeaten versus the unwavering home club almost didn't happen, as Pogan Falls gave Manotick quite a scare. I don't want to be, they were up, I think it was by 3 going into the 3rd period. We were watching it actually intensely, my son and I, the score change and whatnot as we left our game from the weekend. And eventually the Manotick Mariners pulled off a 7-6 regulation victory over Pogan Falls. It was an incredible game, and because Manotick and their resilience, we still see ourselves with this great matchup. We wanted to give a shout out to some of the sponsors for the Barry's Bay Wolves. We'll be giving shout outs to them all game long as well. To Wilno Tavern, Valley Cottage Raising, and Valley Cap Roofing. Without them and many more, Andrew was saying, boy, we have so many sponsors, it's hard to leave any out, but he wanted to give thanks to all of his sponsors all across the board. Valley Cottage Raising actually sponsored us throughout the playoffs and helped with travel and expenses and whatnot in our time, and it was really greatly appreciated. And of course, Barry's Bay, just wanted to give a shout out to them and throughout this game. In net for Barry's Bay will be Sean Green. On the other side, Riley Tondro, as I said. Ethan Lipensky has a bit of a flu-like symptoms. He will not be in the lineup tonight for Barry's Bay. He will be needed as a backup if necessary. But it's going to be a great game, folks. I mean, 2 high-class, high-quality hockey clubs facing off in an incredibly beautiful arena that won the Kraft Hockeyville in 2006. Nice renovation here, and it's a beautiful arena. And you can't see them, but the fans are pouring in here in Barry's Bay, and it's going to be another epic tilt between these 2 great teams. And a lot of games around the league here tonight. Let's see if I can get you caught up on that as well. 11 games on the schedule, including this one. Lindsay Barn Cats and the Durham Hawks. They'll face off in Durham. Halton Hills Coyotes and the Stratford Irish. Halton Hills looking to, on the other side of the schedule, try and get their motor running. They're sitting at 3-10-1 on the season. North Dundas Rockets bring on that 11-1 record to their rivals, who are still not in that position that they would like to be at. They're sitting at 6-6 on the season. Look, if they can beat North Dundas today, that will be a huge lift to morale and give them an opportunity to start rolling along there. Wellington County Royals face off against the Deserano Bulldogs. And the Orangeville Blitz play the Alvinston Killer Bees. They have been dominant this season, sitting at 12-2 on the year. Akwesasne Wild 3-8-2 versus Pogan Falls Rapids. The team that almost took down the Mariners last weekend. So that will be a great game there, guaranteed. Westport Lumberjacks facing off against the Tamworth Sabres. The Shawville Pontiacs against the Silk Grenville Rangers. Tweed Oil Kings will play the Smith Falls Ritos and Tweed Oil Kings and Smith Falls Ritos. That's Strathroy Jets versus the Woodstock Lakers, and that rounds off your games of the night. And we will definitely keep you up to date with all of the goings-on around the league here at NPHL Central. And if you haven't yet, make sure that you hit the old like button and subscribe, share it so more people can get involved in this excellent hockey experience here in the Northern Premier Hockey League. Here's Kelly Summers, the captain of Barry's Bay. It's the first time, actually, we'll get to see him this season. He's either been out on vacation this season. I don't know all the reasons why, but we'll get to see one of the best in the black uniform. And for Manotick, they've got talent as well. There's Philip Sear, who this season has been flirting with the best. I'll tell you, he last year really made a lot of eyes turn towards him, and teamed up with Ryan Lau, and it's been an actual incredible experience over in Manotick. I mean, you can't ask for a better start to a season than sitting at 12-0, and they'll be looking to improve that tonight for a baker's dozen against this high-quality Barry's Bay Hockey Club. And you know, it's friendly conversations prior to the game, but once that puck drops, you know that Cloutier and Kelly Summers will be chomping at the bit to get going against each other here. And that's what you love about hockey is, you know, at one moment we're all buddies and that puck drops, and let the chaos ensue. Actually, next weekend, the Friday game, I had it right here, but we'll be doing, I think it's Shawville actually. The Shawville Pontiacs and the Barry's Bay Wolves. I'll see if I can find it here really quick. Yep, Shawville Pontiacs versus Barry's Bay will be in Shawville for that game. And then on the very next night, we will travel back here to the Paul Yakabuski for those South Stormont Mustangs. They'll be playing the Pogham Falls Rapids the night before in Pogham Falls. So both teams will be playing on back-to-backs, and both looking to get their 4 points if they can. So it's going to be, oh, sorry, hopefully there's sound now. If there isn't any sound, yeah, thank you for letting us know. And it's we will have the recorded version as well, folks. If it is choppy or whatnot, we'll have that up either later on tonight or more likely tomorrow. It's a long trek back, and Barry's Bay has invited us to their Christmas party afterwards, which is more than appreciated, and we appreciate the support from Barry's Bay and across the league. But just don't get invited to a ton of Christmas parties, so that's very much appreciated. Hello, Mary, Xavier, Cheryl, and I'm glad you can hear me from Kingston, Ontario. A lot of support across this community for their Wolves and online. We get asked all the time if we're going to be streaming the game, or will we be out there, and we get to see familiar faces every single weekend. They always come up and say hello, and then also we get to meet new people every time we're out here. They're very welcoming and showing their support, so it's always a great time. We're a minute and a quarter minus 2 pennies away from the first flood. In the first, what games do we have again, James?
Bulldogs and Barry's Bay and
Okay, we'll do the Barry's Bay versus South Grenville game in this intermission for the pregame, and then we'll do it again in the first intermission because we don't have as many people in the pregame, and some people were getting confused last week when we were doing the highlight package, wondering if we were actually doing the game that we had posted. But we'll make sure that we don't lose any of the viewers in the first few minutes. So we'll do Barry's Bay and South Grenville for the first game in 30 seconds. James has been setting up highlight packages fast and furious after every game to make sure you, the viewer at home, get to see the best of the broadcast. And this is going to be another great crowd on hand here at the Paul Yakabuski Arena. They come in droves. I was just getting bumped around a little bit. That's why I thought I'd mention it again. Yeah, folks, so get set, get ready. It's going to be an epic tilt between the Manotick Mariners and the Barry's Bay Wolves. We will be back right after this highlight package from Barry's Bay and South Grenville. Be right back. to the left side. Into the slot. That goes back to the point. The shot through. Scores! Barry's Bay on top early. Jordan Ryan from the point, and that finds the back of the net. The howl when it starts. Some games it doesn't stop. Humping in behind the net, chipped off the boards, and Gilmore in his own zone will try and start it back up again. The little play over to Broyden Stuffco, and that was knocked down by Quentin Rook. Rook doesn't like what he saw, tried to send it through the middle. Gets right on that loose puck again, turns it over. A big chance early, nice pass over, waits, and scores! The captain, Broyden Stuffco, stuffs it home. And the Rangers respond with his 8th of the season. And it's 1-1. Quentin Rook, at the end of a long shift, he tried to get it up through center. His two wingers were up there and ready to go. And he just couldn't get it past that, the two forecheckers for the Rangers. And it ends up at the back of the net. The draw from McKenzie. He'll kick that over to Stay. Stay, he'll throw it back to Lapine. He'll look to Campbell. Campbell sends it to the top of the dot to Stay. Dangerous guy to have that puck. Lapine. He'll walk in hands-free over, shoots and scores! What a beautiful pass. And Cody McNaughton, the recipient, will get his 5th of the season. What a beautiful power play. And if you can believe it, folks, Barry's Bay's power play percentage is only a 6%. And when you look at the guys they have in their lineup and what they just did, you would never, ever guess that that is what their power play numbers are. But they've just been, as teams get at times, snake-bitten early on in the season. And as they get playing more and more, and hopefully more games collected together, they'll be able to find their footing and pump that number up. Right, Bedard tested early and often in that one. And behind the net, McKenzie sends it out to Stay. That bounces all the way to the blue line, sent through, looking for a redirect. Picked up in front, shot. That one just high and wide. Rebound, a shot, and he scores! Ripped it top shelf. And Jarrett Stay, the leading point getter, gets his 9th goal of the season. That bounced right onto his tape. And Barry's Bay are coming out flying. The Rangers looked a little flat-footed early on, and that there, I mean, that's right in the hash mark area. Rifled it top shelf and beat him glove side along the half wall. Stuffco manhandled there. That gets the blue line and kept in by Chevrier. Knapp along the wall to Gilmore. Behind the net. And back to Gilmore again to set it up. Gilmore shoots and scores through a screen. Schroeder parked out in front, and I don't think Lipinski saw it. And it's 3-2 now. The goals keep coming. Oh, and the icing will be negated. Center on the boards and Stay. He'll send it back to where it came from. Peg throws it out in front of the net. Looking for someone to tap that in. Peg sends it back to the slot. Stay looking for a fire, and even with a couple guys on him, he's still got a good shot off there. Peg, Stay, scored! You've got to cover him in that spot. There's 2. The catch and release for Stay is unbelievable. What a shot, lethal weapon. And in the holiday season, Stay, his guns ablazing. It's ripped back to the point by McNaughton. Ryan's attacked early. Campbell gets a nice pass over from McNaughton and shot through a screen. Good thing that was knocked down. Rebound! And he scores! McNaughton again. That's 6 on the season, 2 on the night. He was sitting all alone. And the Wolves howl their way to a 3-goal lead. Looking to go back to the blue line. And the crowd's in the, and there's a chance now for a break on goal. Fake scores! A backhand, and he puts it home, and the Wolves are up by 4. It's 6-2. What a nice play at the blue line. Wolves fans wanted a penalty, but they'll take the goal instead. And it's a foot, comes all the way back to the Wolves zone. I mean, when you look up and you see you've got Robert Lapine, you've got Cody McNaughton, you've got Devin Campbell, Jared Stay, And is that, yeah, Menard in the slot there, or McKenzie, and he couldn't put that home. Stay ripped it high, and he scored! There's the hat trick. Jared Stay putting on a show indeed. Holy Dinah. Jared Stay with that third goal of the night. He's now got 11 on the season. They'll get it out to center, but the bench is being on the other side right now. Difficult to make a change. Stufko, you can see they're backing up. Not Wolves defense. He shoots and scores. And number 24, Tanner Schroeder, another. That of their 3 goals, 2 of them have been when the Wolves were hemmed in their own zone. And the Rangers take advantage of it. Smart thing to do for the Rangers as they notice it's been a while and the Wolves just can't get their feet moving anymore. And they capitalize on their opportunity. Stay's got 3 goals. McNaughton has got a couple of goals on the evening, looking for his third. Shot through, and that's redirected and just goes wide of the net. And back the other way as here comes Stay looking for 4. Stay, a shot. Provost had to be good, but Peg on the doorstep pounds it home. And it's 8-3 Barry's Bay. They come out electric. They did that in the second period as well. And this crowd is just loving it. Did a great job. Hopefully they'll be hardwired here and all over the Northern Premier Hockey League at some point. And none of our games will ever be anything but live. A good diving play there by McNaughton. But a mass gouging here. We have ourselves a Donnybrook. Now the tough part of that is they both have cages on. Watson trying to get his cage off to get the fight going, and I don't know if there is a call for grabbing the cage, but I'm not rightly sure what else you do in that situation.
Got him.
Being at the top of the mountain puts such a large target on your back every time your team takes to the ice. Every team wants to be the one to topple the mountain, to be the one to put the L on the scoreboard of the undefeated club. It's something a struggling team can use as motivation to start climbing out of the basement, a mid-pack team to begin their climb to the top, or a rival to give them bragging rights. For Barry's Bay, tonight's game would be an exclamation point for their dominance on home ice and show the league that they are a definite contender for the championship just like last season. It's a very well-deserved, highly anticipated game, one of those where were you when kind of games. We have done a lot of matches in the NPHL over the last 3 years, and we can see a great 60 minutes from a mile away, and this one is no different. Hello, everyone, and welcome again. Northern Premier Hockey League Central with James and Billy. Very anticipated matchup, and we are tickled pink for this one. So let's not waste any time. Let's send it down to ringside for our O Canada.
We usually do a live performance. Yeah, there we go. Pardon? Maybe
Another beautiful rendition of our O Canada. Well done. Very nice. Get set, folks. The tinsel off the tree. Some leave it up till after New Year's, but for now, this is the present we've all been looking for. The Barry's Bay Wolves and the Manotick Mariners. You may see these two in the playoffs, but right now in the Pioneer Division, these two are the talk of the town. The Chauvel Pontiacs are up over Manotick actually in the standings by a couple of points, but Manotick Barry's Bay, but Barry's Bay's record is right on tap. They're 2 games in hand, so really they're dead even, and this will be a dead heat for the entire 40 minutes. Get set, folks. We are underway. The puck goes down into Barry's Bay's zone, right off the draw. Kelly Summers pressured in the corner. Sear along the wall with him, trying to dig that puck out. Arame going to the front of the net. No pressure the wall. Barry's Bay comes out with it. Summers, the backhand pass to the middle of the ice. And McKenzie did not like that, so he'll send that in behind the net. Manotick having them in their own zone. That's going to go all the way down, and that is going to be an icing. Be brought back into the Barry's Bay zone. The anticipation for this game looms large. Big time. Barry's Bay would like a huge win. Manotick would love to keep their winning streak going. Who comes out on top? 60 minutes. That'll decide that. We'll have your all-star game selections as well few from either side. Back to the point. Renault, the shot through, and Sean Green saw that one. It's knocked out through center. Nice move around him by McKenzie. They'll get to the blue line and hold up. As Owen McDade sent up through center. Line change for Manotick just in time. They'll try and send that in. McDade can't find that puck. Airmate, the right-hand side into the corner. Pass to the slot, and a chance there. Knocked away by the Madawaska D. To the dot. Brett McKenzie, he'll throw that rink wide, and it's picked off. Manotick really controlling the offensive zone here in the first minute and a half. And the captain brings it out to center. He'll ring it in around the wall. It did not get past the Manotick forecheck. Sent over. The blue line and in the corner. Lapine trying to pick that off. He will. Looking out the point. Devin Campbell shot through a screen, and that's stopped by Riley Tondreau. And your goaltenders for tonight for the Barry's Bay Wolves will be Sean Green sitting at 2-1-0 and a 3.02 goals against average and a sparkling 9.04 save percentage. And at the other end of the ice, Riley Tondreau 4-0-0 and a 3.25 goals against and an 8.95 save percentage. So we are in for a goaltenders battle in this one. Rung off the wall, chipped in. Sean Green, he'll stop that and leave it for Lapine. Checked along the wall by Giacabbe. Sent out through center. Dennison throwing that over to Merritt. Back to Dennison, over to McCara. Back to, oh boy, head hunting on that one, and he got away from it. Sent over, McNaughton turns away. Back, Lapine tried the shot and hit a defender, went in behind the net, and a big hit along the wall there to break up that play. Sent out through center. Coming on there quickly was Sinclair. Pass cross. It was deep Herring. Through center. Lapine trying to give it to Sinclair. Sent along the wall, and Manotick now through center is Ryan Lau. Ever dangerous Ryan Lau, former North Dundas Rocket. Head up the whole way. Trying to send that out was Jordan Ryan. Top of the circle, sent down low. Looking for the give and go, and a great defensive play there to thwart that was Enright. But Manotick holds the zone. Try to walk out in front. Green there to make a nice save, and he'll hold on for the faceoff. This can't be right. I think that Manotick has an incredibly short bench tonight. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 players on the Manotick bench. That can't be right. 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 in the lineup for Manotick tonight. Hard pass, knocks the stick out of Sinclair's hand. Opportunity for Barry's Bay if they can hold it in, but they can't. They'll send it back into the Barry's Bay zone, and Kelly Summers will pick it up. Looking up ice. Barry's Bay through center. That's picked off. McCara. That's the sauce pass over. The backhand into the slot. Kelly Summers is there to knife that out through center. And they'll get a line change. Summers through center. Big hit there at center ice by Ben Harris. Summers knocking that stick around to the back of the net. Get it out of the way. Summers, he'll throw it back, but it's picked off. Trying to slow him up. And then offside, Menard says. And he will not get it. And another huge hit. Holy Dinah. Ben Harris and Cloutier talking back behind the play, but the shot. Oh, it hit the goal post and stays out. Fires it rink wide. And he's got him paying attention to Ben Harris. The play went up ice. Looking to draw a penalty in front of that net was Harris. And Giacabbe shot and a stop by Green. And did you get both those hits, James? Were they? Oh, baby. That'll be nice for the highlight films. Ben Harris. Trying to get the Wolves offense going. Nothing does that like a big hit. Sparks something in them. That draws one back to the blue line. Cloutier takes a big hit, and they are really throwing the weight now. As Owen McDade got a big hit on him there. Forcing the issue through center. And that hit up in their feet. It's an offside. And it will be called. Just outside the line will be the face-off. Oh, back by Manotick. Send a sauce pass through center. Devin Campbell, that pass hits McDade, and he tried to sift that through, and a great play by Dennison. They're coming back the other way with speed. Manotick shot, stopped by Green. Trying to go behind the net, throw it out in front. Behind the net for Barry's Bay. Center on the wall. And out through center. Dennison will regroup back in his own zone with Merritt. Neutral zone, actually. It didn't even come all the way back, which has surprised the Barry's Bay D. Turning in the half wall. Hamray off the glass. Devin Campbell try and pick that up behind the net, but he's harassed by Jonathan Sear. Great plays in behind the net there to keep control of that puck. Coming in for support is Lapine. Rink wide pass to McDade's feet. They'll stop up, gain the blue line. They'll bring it back in offside, and they'll have a face-off outside the zone. Well, as the calendar gets set to turn its page, we do too. A set of brand new games. A bunch for Barry's Bay. We'll have some for Durham. I'm pretty sure we'll have some for Deserano as well. They've reached out, so a lot of action heating up. We'll have the All-Star game as well and a whole slate of hockey with that. McNaughton the shot, and he hit it off the back of the net. He'll look back to the point to Ryan. The shot through, and he'll steer that up and through the mesh and off the wall. Face off to the right. Tondro knocked along the wall and out through center. Tried to pick that off, tried to ring it around the wall, but knew the hit was coming. Sent it a little early. McNaughton through center ice, and that is going to be called on the offside. Face off, one back to Kelly Summers. Sent through the mid-ice area. The shot, a stop by Tondro. Trying to move that out through center, and they will. It's a long way down the ice, and that is going to be an icing and be brought back inside the zone. Draw to the right, and it's one back to Summers. I see a space there for a second, but it was redirected by Barrett. Sent up into the rafters. Riley Tondro getting set up with McKenzie. Summers. Menard at the point there for Barry's Bay as well. Two guys that work very well together. Back to the point, it will get there. Summers along the wall quickly. You see every time that Kelly Summers gets it, somebody is on him. They know. Ripped a shot through the redirect, just missed the far side. Sent over McDade. Summers calling for it at the point, but he was under pressure. Stopped and turned it back. McDade still controlling it with quick sticks. Sear there first. but Pag was there to support. And that'll go to the blue line and kept on a Wolves stick. They'll bring it back into their own zone and reset. Summers to the mid-ice area. McKenzie just about got through, and that is one forecheck, maybe too many. No, a great defensive play by Menard. Trying to send it along the wall. And that is going to be blown dead as the door was open. It might have hit the door, and they'll blow the whistle. We've played 7 minutes, 56 seconds here in the first period. Close, Nick, close checking. Great hockey. One mistake is going to hurt you. That is the way this game's going to go, is just mistakes. It's a playoff atmosphere, and both clubs trying to give their all for their fans. Pass to the neutral zone and in. Ryan Lau stopping up, sending it cross ice, knocked away by Sinclair. He's got McDade streaking. He'll throw it. Dennison, he's trying to beat him to the punch. McDade, slot chance there. The rebound in front, shoots, and Riley Tondreau stops that one. It's flipped out to center. Knocked down by Devin Campbell. Campbell rings it around the boards. Kofeld. That's sent again. All the way down this time, and it might go for an icing. Devin Campbell is just too fast. Campbell picks up a rolling puck, and he'll come out through center. Squeezes by his man there, and Campbell walks into the slot. Stopped by Tondreau, and the Manotick Mariners scamper out through center, trying to turn this around. Trying to go by, shoots it high off the glass, and that comes all the way to the blue line. On him is Sinclair, and if there's one thing Barry's Bay is doing in this one, it is hitting when they can. Come out with a physical play. Ripped it up through center. That was almost picked up, but too hard. That's going to be offside, as Renault was just in too quickly. As Barrett was still in offside. Great action early on. The draw just outside the zone. Coming in on the far side is Manotick, trying to get around the net. Oh, I think Green lost sight of the puck. Comes back out through center now. And that's going to go all the way down for icing. Thank you, Joshua. Yeah, everything is going great tonight, as always. Yeah, James and I had a safe trip down. I hope you had a great Christmas as well. And this, yeah, it is going to be an epic playoff type atmosphere till big time, 100%. The unbeaten Mariners versus the 24-2-1 Barry's Bay Wolves on their home ice. You can't ask for more than that. Draw one back to Kelly Summers. Summers shot, deflected, sat in front of the net for a second. Sent out through center, and Menard with great speed scampers back, but he's got to deal with Phil Sear. Or Jonathan Sear, sorry. Summers in behind his own net. Goes over to Menard, and he's through the neutral zone with speed. Just about got through. One more checker. He's got the puck now on the half wall. Ripped a shot, and Tondreau will make the save, but he needed a line change, and he will get one. Kelly Summers and Menard, I mean, if you think of it, they've got Kelly Summers, Menard at the points. Two very fast defensemen. And then the next line you bring out is Devin Campbell and Ryan Lapine, two incredible defensemen. It's going to be hard for Manotick in this one. Draw, scrum draw, Robert Lapine win that one, and Barry's Bay trying to control the zone. Merritt throwing it along the wall. It's a stick, stays inside the zone. The pressure continues. The shot towards the net, and that's knocked down and sent back to the neutral zone. Devin Campbell ripped the pass off the wall. McNaughton had up the whole way, and he'll throw it on Tondreau. He didn't know exactly where it was. We've reached the halfway point of the first period. 9 1/4 minus a penny to go here in the first. Hope you're enjoying it at home, folks. Great, glad to hear it, Josh. Big time, my dude. Glad we could go live. James restarted the computer and did all his fang dangling very quickly before this one. It's always like that. Slot. McDade, backhander. He fanned on it, keeps control, sends it back to the blue line. And Lapine will shoot it, but it hit a foot and went up into the mesh. Every time we go to start a game, it's difficult, folks, with the Wi-Fi in any game around, of course, in the National Hockey League, OHL, any professional game. They are hardwired in big time. We are going off of thank you, Barry's Bay Wolves, for having letting us use their private Wi-Fi so we can bring this to you live without their private Wi-Fi. The shot from the dot, and he just missed it. Short side, Devin Campbell with his electric speed comes in and picks that up, sends it to McDade. McDade looking back to the wall, but Manotick is too strong. Now send it out through center, and a huge hit there by Ryan Lapine, and that got the attention of not only the guys on the ice, but the crowd as well. Sent down, and Tondro will come out to play it. Sends it back along the wall to the corner. Skating with speed. Out through center. No, he'll backpedal into his own zone and restart this play. Over to McKenzie. McKenzie throws it to Peg, and he's knocked down in front, and there will be a penalty. Into the slot, back into the hash marks, and tipped away. And just as Green reaches the bench, it's going to be a 2-minute power play for the Barry's Bay Wolves. He was going to the net. He might have actually stopped a goal there on that play. And there are good and there are bad penalties, and that one right there was definitely a good penalty. A bad penalty, for instance, in your own zone, tripping a guy when they're coming out of your own zone, that's ridiculous. 200 feet from your own net. But that there, right in the slot area, good defensive play and an unselfish one to take him down and take the 2 minutes. That's chipped back to the blue line. Summers pinches in. Manotick rolls over his tape and sent off the glass and down the ice. Campbell back. Campbell, Kelly Summers, McDade, McKenzie, and Lapine out for Barry's Bay. Lapine, what a toe drag. Drop pass to Summers. Shoots! Scores! What a play, what a shot, and what a goal. And you can hear it. This crowd appreciates that one. What a pass. And Kelly Summers nets it. It's 1-0 Wolves. Well, the play through the neutral zone set the entire situation up. The toe drag, drop pass, another pass back to Kelly Summers. He was looking over to the right side as well to make the play, but he elected to shoot through a screen and beat him glove side. And Barry's Bay is out to a nice 1-0 lead here. Ryan Lau sends it in deep into that corner. Lapine along the wall, sends it around to the point. Merritt can't get there, and it's back into their own zone, and Kluche will pick it up. Along the wall, in through the blue line. Sent to the blue line, and out. Coming through is quick Cody McNaughton. Scored! Cody McNaughton! The goal wasn't even called yet for Kelly Summers, and Cody McNaughton with great speed on the left side pops it home, and it's 2-0 Barry's Bay. Well, the speed along the wall, I mean, Cody, you want to give him respect, but that was a little too much respect. Backed him right towards the net. Cody beat him on the outside and then beat Riley short side on that one. Center on the wall. Met on the half wall with the body chipped into the corner. Turning on his defender, going to the net with a purpose, looking back to Devin Campbell at the point. The pass shot, Sinclair, just off the end of his tape. Turning is Kofeld, trying to get some room, but Manotick was too strong. Calum Sigsworth trying to chip it. Sends it up the middle. Sinclair, shot stopped by Riley Tondro. Robert Lapine, I think that's 2 points already on the night for him. We'll have to check that one. That's sent into the zone. Schulist thought he'd get him coming around the net, sent it along to the corner, and that's flipped out through center. Through the neutral zone, and they're trying to counterpunch with speed through center is Cousineau. Shot, and that's redirected wide. Around to the half wall and sent into the corner. Back to the boards, and Renault checked. And that's going to be a 2-minute penalty to McDade. Yep, Robert Lapine with an assist on the first and the second goal. And Kelly Summers with a goal and an assist on the evening already. The only games going on right now, the Barn Cats leading Durham 3-0 in Durham. That's in the first. That's to the point. Denison looking for it back again. Power play for Manotick, sent to the top of the circle. Back to Denison. He's got Sear on the right side. Sends it down low. Manotick cross crease pass, and McKenzie was there to take that away. Enright takes his man out in the corner, but he finds a way to get loose, regains the puck, sends it to the blue line, and this is going to be sent 200 feet, and they'll get a line change. Tondro trying to catch him on it. John Sear to Lau, trying to stop and pop it to Hambry. Hambry, oh, that just about got over to wide open Ryan Lau. Center on the wall to the point to Denison. Denison, top of the circle shot, and a stop by Green. Trying to play that along the boards, and he will. Big hit there. Sends him into the boards. And Lau, they are not able to get spread out and get it nicely set up as the pressure from Barry's Bay causes it to come all the way back down into the Manotick zone. Renault across the blue line, sending it in behind the net, trying to come out the other side, and he will, but he'll send it to the blue line from the top of the circle. Denison thinks better of that. Looks over to Renault, but he'll get to the top of the blue line, sends it back over, and the shot through, stopped by Green, but it's on top of the net, and Green will cover that one up and hold on for the whistle. 34 seconds remaining in the power play. And the penalty, Ben Harris for cross-checking will end here in 30 seconds. I'll tell you right now, Manotick at 27% power play and a 90% penalty kill. You're not looking to beat them on the extra man advantage either side. And Lau pinched along the wall there. He'll start again. That pass over connects to Sear. A beautiful move there to get into the slot, but it's thwarted by the Wolves D and sent down the ice to McKenzie. He just about received a gift there in behind the net. He's a hard guy to knock off the puck, but they will. And send that 110 feet up the ice, and it's knocked down. And the penalty is over. And Barry's Bay looks to counter. Coming in is McDade, the drop pass, McKenzie. Shot! Stopped by Tondro. And they got a one-on-one chance here. Looking to beat him on the far side is Giacobi. Shot stopped by Green and steers it away from the danger area there. Hit along the wall by Menard, and that jostles the puck away from Merritt. Looking to come out through center with good speed there. Menard drop pass. McDade turns. Throws it in behind the net to the corner. And a smart play as Menard needed to get off. He negates the loose puck in the corner. Manotick gathers it and skates out through center. Merritt stops up, look for the drop pass, but it elected not to bear it. Merritt to the top of the circle, and Ryan sends it around the boards. Patience for Barry's Bay, leading to this. Here, the pass through the center. Shot, and it hit a stick off the glass from Cole Bolton. Enright in the corner, trying to move this out. Sent out through center, and that's going to catch him a little bit here. Sear couldn't bring the puck down, and that's going to be offside. .247, 2 minutes and 47 seconds left in the first. We talked about this all the time. We get robbed of our time sometimes out here in Barry's Bay. The games are so electric, and this is no different. It's Going to be back in the Manotick blue line for the face-off, as it was a long ice pass that resulted in the offside. Manotick, Renault setting up now. Their own zone, slipped in through center. Devin Campbell, he's chased by Sear, and you can hear his mates yelling, he's coming. McDade sent out through center. That was Harris. That pass, it hits nobody. They got to clear the zone, and they will. Shot by Schulis to just wide. Coming after him is Harris again. He's already made a statement early on in this one with a couple of big hits on one shift, and the guys are moving the puck quickly because of it. Schulis leaves it for Harris. Harris is being attacked, a nice move around him, and a puck is now picked up by the Mariners. Renault, he's been a puck carrier for Manotick in this one with great speed coming through center. He gets the return pass. Menard on him. Loose puck sent into the corner for Summers. He just chips that along the wall. And Barry's Bay, oh boy, that was a great defensive play there by Timothy Cousineau. A rolling puck, and he threw the stick out, and it thwarted a breakaway opportunity. On him quickly, losing his stick was Kofeld into the slot area there, and Sinclair didn't get the return pass. A nice play, a good play by Kelly Summers. They're still in, and Green poke checks that off the back of the leg of Green, and he somehow kept it out. And Summers will have none of him crashing into the net. And cooler heads will prevail. Giacobbe going in towards that loose puck, and Kelly Summers gave him the headlock, making sure he couldn't go any farther. Terrific play by Kelly Summers. There's not a lot of defensemen. He looked like he had been caught, where he had made the poke check, he made the move to the inside on him, and Kelly Summers finds that extra gear in reverse to give him the hit and then try and poke check the puck away from Giacobbe as he was going towards the net. That's why he's considered one of the best in the league and one of the best captains as well. Across that blue line. Nice move in. Shot redirected, and they score! Brett McKenzie from Owen McDade, and they're up 3-0 early on in this one. Well, it looked like a dead play as they crossed that blue line. It was poke checked off his stick, threw it down low, and McKenzie never gave up on it and just chipped that home. 3-0 early for the Barry's Bay Wolves. Lapine at the draw. And that's won by Ryan Lau to Renault. Skating through center, Dennison. With good speed. There's Campbell to the corner. Nice play to get that. Slot, shoots and scores! Jonathan Sear on a turnover out in front. Fires it upside, and Manotick makes it 3-1. The boos rain down from Barry's Bay. Stay tuned in the first period, folks. We've got the highlights from the South Grenville Barry's Bay Wolves game. That will be in the first intermission. So don't go anywhere. Back, picked off through the neutral zone quickly. And a chance, scores! Great teams respond, and that's exactly what the Wolves did. Picking off that pass, and Cody McNaughton with his second of the night. A pickup in the offseason. And he has really become a fan favorite here in Barry's Bay. 4-1 lead. Wolves. Face off. We're at the 30-second mark here left in the first period. Chip back to Devin Campbell. They'd love to go into the second with a 3-goal lead. That pass there made it look like they wanted to have a 4-goal lead. And that there looked like it hit the Wolves forechecker there. It's going to come back into Barry's Bay zone. McKenzie, the draw. I can't see the jersey. I think it's Lau with the draw. For Manotick, he's got Dennison at the point. High slot here, shot through. Green stops it, it goes up and almost on the top of the net again. Back to the point, Dennison. They're hunting for a goal, but Sean Green snares that one. What a beauty glove save. And they keep it 4-1 with 7.6 remaining on the clock. Face off, one for Manotick, but it's chipped up and it'll go out of play again. It is a huge crowd, Cheryl, big time. Yeah, it's a big one. Along the wall, out to center ice, and that's gonna do it for the first 20. The crowd gives a nice cheer as the Barry's Bay Wolves have taken the unbeaten Mariners to a 4-1 lead going into the second period. And you see how Barry's Bay comes to their dressing room. I mean, the kids line up for the fist bumps through the tunnel. It's absolutely perfect for our setup as well, but if that doesn't give you inspiration to come back out in that second period and extend this lead, nothing will. It's a great crowd here in Barry's Bay, and I think that they brought a bunch of Mariners as well. I've seen a lot of faithful around. You can see everybody just having a great time, and especially Barry's Bay, who lead, as I say, 4-1 going into the second period. Now we'll have our last game of Barry's Bay as they play the South Grenville Rangers. James's highlights here. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back. Enjoy the highlights. To the left side, into the slot. That goes back to the point. The shot through. Scores! Barry's Bay on top early. Jordan Ryan from the point, and that finds the back of the net. The howl when it starts. Some games it doesn't stop. Humping in behind the net, chipped off the boards, and Gilmore in his own zone will try and start it back up again. The little play over to Broyden Stuffco, and that was knocked down by Quentin Rook. Rook doesn't like what he saw, tried to send it through the middle. Gets right on that loose puck again, turns it over, a big chance early, nice pass over, waits, and scores! The captain, Broyden Stuffco, stuffs it home, and the Rangers respond with his 8th of the season, and it's 1-1. Quentin Rook, at the end of a long shift, he tried to get it up through center. His two wingers were up there and ready to go, and he just couldn't get it past that the two forecheckers for the Rangers, and it ends up in the back of the net. The draw from McKenzie, he'll kick that over to Stay. Stay, he'll throw it back to Lapine. He'll look to Campbell. Campbell sends it to the top of the dot to Stay. Dangerous guy to have that puck. Lapine. He'll walk in hands-free over, shoots and scores! What a beautiful pass, and Cody McNaughton, the recipient, will get his 5th of the season. What a beautiful power play, and if you can believe it, folks, Barry's Bay's power play percentage is only a 6%. And when you look at the guys they have in their lineup and what they just did, you would never ever guess that that is what their power play numbers are, but they've just been, as teams get at times, snake bitten early on in the season. And as they get playing more and more, and hopefully more games collected together, they'll be able to find their footing and pump that number up. Right, Bedard tested early and often in that one. And behind the net, McKenzie sends it out to Stay. That bounces all the way to the blue line, sent through, looking for a redirect, picked up in front, shot. That one just high and wide. Rebound, a shot, and he scores! Ripped it top shelf, and Jarrett Stay, the leading point getter, gets his 9th goal of the season. That bounced right onto his tape, and Barry's Bay are coming out flying. The Rangers looked a little flat-footed early on, and that there, I mean, that's right in the hash mark area. Rifled it top shelf and beat him glove side along the half wall. Stuffco manhandled there. That gets the blue line and kept in by Chevrier. Knapp along the wall to Gilmore. Behind the net. And back to Gilmore again to set it up. Gilmore shoots and scores through a screen. Schroeder parked out in front, and I don't think Lipinski saw it. And it's 3-2 now. The goals keep coming. Oh, and the icing will be negated. Center on the boards and stay. He'll send it back to where it came from. Peg throws it out in front of the net. Looking for someone to tap that in. Peg sends it back to the slot. Stay looking for a fire, and even with a couple guys on him, he's still got a good shot off there. Peg, Stay, scored! You've